Hello everyone, welcome to NICC's Technology Tips. Today we are going to be taking a more in-depth look at using Outlook. Outlook is where we're able to access our NICC email as well as our calendar that syncs up with our classes, connecting documents, scheduling, and other types of communication that we use at NICC. This video can be used by instructors, NICC employees, and also students. So we're going to take kind of an overview. Feel free to pause this video at any point if you have questions or want to rewind it a little bit as well. And to get started, we're all going to go about the same process, whether you're an employee or a student. First, we're going to make sure that we are on NICC's website, the nicc.edu. And the next, what we'll do is select the prospective employee email or student email. Once we've selected this option, we can then log into our account by entering in your credentials or selecting one that's already up. And for those of you who may not be sure what your password is, you can click Forgot Password here, or you can email Justin Koshin and he will give you a reset. After we log in, we'll then see that our kind of home page, when we are getting into our email, is our Office 365. And what Office 365 is basically a collection of NICC's tools. And so if we scroll over to this little waffle icon right here with these dots, we can then see that we can get into our Outlook, our OneDrive, which is kind of the NICC cloud storage, Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. Anywhere where you can log into your Office 365 or your email, you also have the ability to access your documents and you'll be able to update it in real time. OneNote, which you may utilize for certain classes. Teams is more of that group dynamic that NICC employees use, and SharePoint is where we can kind of take an in-depth look at those files that are shared within Teams. Okay, what we're going to do is go to our Outlook, which is where we're going to focus on the bulk of our training today. First thing we're going to do within Outlook is to look at kind of an overview of how our email is set up. Okay, first thing we can do is to the left-hand side, we're going to see different types of inboxes. There's a little favorite section, which is going to include what folders we're using most often. And we're going to see it's kind of copied over from this info below. If you don't like the folder option, you can also minimize it right here. So within this folders option, we can see that we have our inbox, which is right here, all of our new emails. We have drafts, anything that we're currently working on that hasn't been sent yet, sent items, deleted items, junk email, and then we can also archive some information as well. We also have the option below here of creating a new folder if they have emails that are highlighting financial aid information. Okay, we can then add this folder and we'll see that here we can put any emails into this financial aid information folder. We also have the option here too to select individual emails. We can tell that this is a new email because the title of the email is bolded. Same thing with this email from Paul here, 2021 summer internship. And then we also have the option of deciding how we want to code this email. We have the option of moving it to a folder. We have the option of categorizing it. If, for example, we want to important information, we want to code in purple. Okay, this purple category will allow us to search for that information. If we want quick access to, we also have the option of deleting this email here, marking as read or unread, flagging. And then, for example, say this email I want to keep at the top of my inbox. I can also click this pin button right here. So no matter how many new emails I get, no matter how many new messages, this is going to stay at the top of my inbox instead of get buried down into the new information. If we want to send a message, we can then go to the left-hand side, click New Message. Here we have the option of sending to anybody at NICC. We'll also see too that there is a way to create shortcuts. For example, if we are a faculty and we want to send out a message to student services, we can actually type student services, and there is a whole group created that will send to all of NICC's student service representatives. So especially if you're an instructor for students who may be struggling in a course and we need to get them that extra support, we can type those things in. As always, titling our email. We can change the font, kind of those details on the email. But also, if we attach documentation, we'll see that we also have the option of browsing our computer location and also our NICC cloud. We know that this student can also attach class documents that are on NICC's cloud. So this ties in really well to our OneDrive. And of course, we also have more options with how we send other than just attachments. We can also click these three dots and we can set importance from high, normal, or low, especially if there's an immediate item. We also have the option as well if we want to create our own groups. For example, if you are a student and you'd like to develop a study group to send regular emails to one another, we can then go down to the bottom left-hand corner here and select people. We can then go to the top left corner and select new contact list, which is going to allow us to put any of our NICC contacts into a group. So for example, if we are looking at a department group, the General Liberal Arts team, from here, we can add our instructors who are part of the GLA division. Okay, and these are just a few examples. So we could click Create. And now we have the option of our team or our contact list to be a shortcut back on the bottom left-hand side. So now when we create a new message, we can then title it. If we want to send it to our whole General Liberal Arts team, I can then see a shortcut. And I know that it's sent to everyone in this group. And I can send the email this way. You'll also see the option as well as when you're in your inbox, you'll also see cancellations as well as meeting requests. So meeting requests could be for specific meetings for committees you're in. They could also be for class. And all of those invites will get routed to your Outlook. From here, we have the option now to go to our calendar and see how our Outlook email jives with our calendar. Bottom left-hand corner will allow us to click the calendar icon and then view our schedule. And when we're within the calendar view, we also have the option of looking at things according to a week view, school week, or the day. The calendar is a little bare for Harvey currently. We can see the items that Harvey has. So within each of these examples, we can tell that Harvey has class for sociology and for student success strategies. We can also schedule our times for pickup, for studying, work time, and any other examples where you may want to have time set aside for a particular event. So for example, if Harvey needs to pick up his sister from school every Monday afternoon, he can then go to New Event on the top left corner. And here we can create an event. For example, pick up sister from school. If there's someone that you want to invite for an individual meeting, you can type their name in here. You can also add optional attendees. We can select the date. So every Monday is what we were discussing. So the first one will be on the 23rd. And let's say the pickup time is at 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock to 4:30. We can choose how often the event will repeat. So we can say every week until May. We can also add a location or an online meeting. You can choose whether it's on Skype or Teams. And then we can also add descriptions or link to our OneDrive. We also have an option as well. For example, let's say this is a different event and Harvey wants to meet with an instructor. Okay, so if Harvey is meeting with Hank, the other option is to go to Scheduling Assistant. If Harvey is trying to schedule a meeting with Hank, he can actually send out a request by clicking Scheduling Assistant based on Hank's availability. So we can see if they're looking for a time to connect, where Hank is busy and where Harvey is busy. So instead, Harvey can actually drag this time and schedule a meeting time that works for both of them. This will also work if you have multiple required attendees and optional attendees, in the same way that each person's line of going across will show their availability. When you found a time that works, you can click Done. And we can see that everyone is available at this time. Okay, then you can click Send and it will share your response. We also have the option too, before clicking Send, of coding your meeting as busy or tentative, and also categorizing your meeting based on custom categories or color coding. After you click Send, it will route to their inbox. We're going to exit off for right now. Within Outlook, we also have the option of joining different meetings. So for example, as a student, you have the option of jumping into any of your courses simply by clicking on them. So for example, Student Success Strategies, if I double click here, it's going to give me the class information as well as allow me to join on Teams just by clicking. We can also see that this meeting here, if I click on it, will allow me to join on Zoom. We can also see by clicking here, this meeting will allow me to join on Skype. And for any meeting to view more information, we can double click and it will allow us to see a full set of information or open any documents that are tied to it. We also want to make sure that we've RSVP'd and if we have any conflicts to reply. Also, Outlook does work on your phone as well. You can sign up for the Outlook app through Microsoft and you will be able to get updates on your phone with those reminders as well as ability to join into the classes. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much.